So good morning students, good morning to everyone. So in previous class we are discussing about Coulomb's law and Coulomb's law in vector form. See, let us revise that points. See, when two charges are there, Q1 and Q2, and the two charges are separated by some distance. Let us imagine some r distance they have separated. Now the force of attraction or repulsion between these two charges according to Coulomb's law, it is given as F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by r square. Clear? Here epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space or vacuum. Clear students? Okay. Now, if the two charges are, if these two charges Q1 and Q2 separated by same distance, but if these two charges are placed in any other medium, one medium if we keep, whose permittivity is epsilon, let us suppose, then what will happen to the force between the two charges? Force between the two charges in a medium, this is in vacuum, will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by r square. This Q1 Q2 and distance between the two charges is not changed. Only the medium between the two charges is changed. So if you change the medium between the two charges, the force between the two charges also will change. Okay. See, remember one point here. When two charges are placed in air, the force between them is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by r square. When you keep them in some other medium, let us imagine water, then permittivity of water, epsilon value of water will be 80 times greater than air. Okay, air value it is very less. Okay, whereas in any other medium, permittivity will be more. So due to this reason, force between the two charges will change. Instead of air or vacuum, if you place the two charges in any other medium such that two charges is not disturbed, distance between them is same, then the force between them will decrease. Remember that point, because the relation between these two is inversely proportional. Okay. Now, if you take a ratio between force in vacuum to force in a medium between the two charges, what you will get? See, you will get 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by r square here. Okay. Yes. And force in a medium will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon permittivity of a medium into Q1 Q2 by r square. See here, 4 pi cancel, Q1 Q2 cancel, r square cancel. Two charges magnitude not change, distance between the two charges also not change. Only the medium is changed. Then what will happen? Force in vacuum to force in a medium will become epsilon to epsilon naught. Epsilon to we will discuss the vector form also. We will come back to that point. So this ratio will become epsilon to epsilon naught. This ratio we call it as epsilon r. What we call epsilon r. Epsilon r, nothing but relative permittivity of medium. Okay, what we call this one? Relative permittivity of medium. Okay, students. We call this one as relative permittivity of medium, or this epsilon r is also called as something k. It is different k. Here whatever I have written k, that is 9 into 10 to the power of 9. This k is different. This is called as dielectric constant. What do we call Anna? Dielectric constant. You need to remember this word. Relative permittivity and dielectric constant, both are same. The value means both the names are same, Nana. Remember this point. Okay, so they will ask you 1 mark question in your board exam. What is that one? Define dielectric constant. What is a dielectric constant? Dielectric constant is also called as relative permittivity of a medium with respect to air, and it is the ratio between, it is also called as dielectric constant. It is the ratio between force between the two charges when they are placed in air or vacuum to force between the two charges when they are placed in a medium. So dielectric constant of a medium is nothing but it is the ratio between the force between two charges separated by some distance when they are placed in air to when they are placed in a particular medium. But the separation between the two charges should be same. Okay, this ratio between force between two charges when they are placed in air and when they are placed in vacuum in any other medium, this ratio we call it as dielectric constant, or it is also called as relative permittivity. See, remember this point. See this formula. See what I have written: epsilon r. Epsilon r, relative permittivity or dielectric constant is nothing but epsilon by epsilon naught. Then what is epsilon here? Epsilon is nothing but epsilon naught into epsilon naught. Remember this point. Okay. Now force between two charges in air, how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. Force in a medium, how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 by r square. This epsilon we can write like this. Force in a medium can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon r epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. Okay, yeah. So this force in a medium will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square into 1 by epsilon r. Can we write? Yes, this one separately I am writing. What is this total value, Rana? This total value is nothing but force in vacuum or air. So we can write force in a medium will be equal to force in vacuum divided by epsilon r. Means when two charges are separated by some distance, when they are placed in any other medium whose relative permittivity is given, then what will happen to the force between them? Compared to force in air will decrease by this much factor. That means let us suppose you imagine two charges are there, the two charges separated by some distance. Now they are placed in air. The force between the two charges is, let us suppose, 10 newtons. How much it is? 10 newtons. Now the two charges you placed in one particular medium, one oil, whose relative permittivity is 2. Relative permittivity is 2. Then what will happen to the force between the two charges? But separation between them is same. When they are placed in one particular oil whose relative permittivity is 2, the force between the two charges in that oil will become 10 divided by 2. Clear? That means relative permittivity value gives you idea about how much force will be there between the two charges. Okay, remember that point. Clear? Important, and this definition is important for your board exam. Relative permittivity, it is the ratio between, relative permittivity is nothing but it is the ratio between two charges separated by same distance when they are placed in vacuum or air to when they are placed in medium. This is the ratio, this okay, this is the relative permittivity. Remember this point. Okay, important. See here, I am calling this relative permittivity is also called as something K. That K is nothing but dielectric constant. Dielectric constant. In the first class, I have given, instead of this 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, I have written something K. This K, totally different. This K I am using in the place of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. That is 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Don't confuse with this k and that k. If it is written, it is not a dielectric constant. It is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 value. Okay. And this case, they will mention that name, dielectric constant, like that, the word they will give. Don't confuse. Okay. Yes. Now, this is Coulomb's law, scalar format. Scalar form of Coulomb's law. Now, see, we know a force is a vector quantity, means force should have direction also. So let us say Coulomb's law in vector form of Coulomb's law. Vector form of Coulomb's law. Already discussed. One more time, let us discuss. See, two charges are there, Q1 and Q2. Two charges, and these two charges are separated by some distance R, let us suppose. Okay? Clear? Yes. Now, let us give one unit vector direction. Let us suppose this direction is R12 bar. A vector which is pointing from Q1 to Q2 is R12 bar I am taking. Okay, a position vector, a distance between the two charges in vector form I am writing R12 bar. 12 indicates distance from Q1 to Q2. R21 bar indicates distance from second charge to first charge. Second charge to first charge. Clear? Now, Q1 force will exert some Q1 charge will exert some force on Q2, and Q2 charge also will exert some force on Q1. There is, if two charges are positive charges, then a repulsive force will be there between the two charges. Here Q1 will exert some force on Q2, and Q2 also will exert some force on Q1. How much force? Q1, a force acting on first charge due to second charge, how much? It is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. What is the value of force acting on second charge due to first charge? It is also 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. So magnitude wise, if you see magnitude, force on first charge due to second charge and force on second charge due to first charge, magnitude will be same. F12 bar magnitude and F21 bar magnitude will be same, but there will be some difference in direction that we need to check. So magnitude wise, force on both the charges are equal. Q1 charge will exert some force on Q2 and Q2 charge will exert some force on Q1. Clear? Yes. Now, what is the direction of force on first charge due to second charge? Direction. Vector form, let us see. Direction. In which direction? Value I am writing. Magnitude I am writing. Magnitude is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Distance between them is R I have taken. Okay. In which direction it is? See, both are positive charges. I want force on first charge due to second charge. 1, 2 indicates force on first charge due to second charge. Okay. So on first charge due to second charge, force will be in this direction. Because it is a repulsive force, no? It is a repulsive force. Q2 is acting a repulsive force on Q1. That is force on first charge due to second charge in this direction. Clear? So if I want to add one direction, I should add one position vector. Sorry, one unit vector I should add. So unit vector in which direction? In the direction of R21. So I should write R21 cap. R21 cap indicates a unit vector which is pointing in the direction of Q2 to Q1. Force on 1 due to 2 can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square into R21 cap. And we know R21 cap is nothing but R21 bar divided by modulus of R21 bar. Modulus of R21 bar. Modulus of R21, from here to here, modulus is nothing but R. We can write R it is. So R21 cap can be written as R21 bar divided by R. Replace here. You'll get force on 1 due to 2 in vector form is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square into r21 bar divided by r. Means it will be r cube. So vector form means this will give direction also. It will give magnitude and direction. Magnitude is this much, direction is this much. Here cube came because I have written bar, but here square only, but I have written cap. The difference you need to see. I hope you understand. This is the value of force on first charge due to second charge, and this is the value of force on first charge due to second charge. Now let us see what is the force on second charge due to first charge. Okay, now let us see force on second charge. Force on second charge due to first charge. Direction, magnitude wise both are same. Magnitude wise both are same. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. Now what I want, force on second charge due to first charge. On second charge due to first charge, repulsive force means in this direction. Force will be force on second charge due to first charge will be in this direction. Means in which direction it is? In the direction of r12 bar. R12 bar is in this direction. Okay, so if I want the direction, I should give a unit vector. Unit vector is in the direction of r12 cap. That's it. Clear? Yeah. So this r21 bar still can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square into this r12 cap can be written as r12 bar divided by modulus of r12 bar. Modulus of r12 bar is nothing but r, value of r, distance between the two charges. So simply we can replace r. This r square into r is nothing but r cube. Similarly to previous one, I have written here. Clear? So this is a vector form of Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law in vector form. Okay? Yes. Now let us see what is the importance of this vector form of Coulomb's law. Vector form of Coulomb's law gives you idea about vector, in which direction force is there. Scalar form of Coulomb's law gives how much force will be there between the two charges. In vector form, the force is there, but in which direction on a particular charge. Force is in which direction on a particular charge. See, when two charges are like charges, repulsive force will be there. Repulsive force will be there. On first charge, due to second charge, force will be in that direction. When charges are same, and second charge, force will be in that direction. So a repulsive force is there. But if the charges are different types, one is positive, another one is negative, let us suppose. If you suppose the two charges are of opposite nature, magnitude will be same, value of charges will be same, only sign will change. Okay, that means direction will change. See, according to direction, if I want direction now, now if I want force on first charge due to second charge, force on first charge due to second charge, I want direction. Which type of force it is? Attractive force, means in this direction. In this direction means this force can be written as F12 bar can be written as value 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. Unit vector in which direction? In the direction of r12 bar, r12 cap. See this difference between these two. Here r21 written, here r12 written. If these suffixes are same, that means you can say here charges are different types, one positive, one negative. If this 1 2 and 2 1 is there, means charges are of same type. Repulsive force indicates, this attractive force indicates towards each other. Okay, similarly F21 can be written as F21 bar can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square into direction. On Q2, due to Q1, force will be in this direction. Attractive force. Q1 will attract Q2 in this direction. Which direction? R21 bar. R21 cap. Attractive force. This is for opposite charges. This is for same type of charges. Clear? Okay. Now let us see two important points about Coulomb's law in vector form. See, first point is, see students, importance of Coulomb's law in vector form I am talking. See, as you know, R12 bar and R21 bar, how they are? R12 bar is in this direction, R21 bar is in this direction. Means they are opposite to each other. Just they are opposite to each other. Yes or no? Clear? That means this one R12 cap is opposite to R21 cap. Magnitude wise, distance between the discharges is same, but direction is different. So negative sign we can keep. Magnitude is same, but opposite direction. So negative I am using. That means F12 bar, I'll write like this. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square into R21. In the place of R21, in the place of R21, can I write a minus of R? Sorry, it is 12, no? R12. Can we write like this? Yes, we can write. Clear? That means F12 bar can be written as minus of, this minus I am writing here, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square into R12 cap. What is this total value? See, this is nothing but this one. This is nothing but F21. Means F12 is equal to minus of F21. Means what is this? See, Newton's third law, you remember. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Equal in value, minus sign indicates opposite reaction. Okay, that means Coulomb's law will form action-reaction pair. Remember this point. Means Coulomb's law in vector form provides you that force between the two charges, that is electrostatic force, will form action-reaction pair. Force on first charge due to second charge will be equal to force on second charge due to first charge, but both are in opposite direction. This information it will provide. Coulomb's law in vector form. Okay, this point is very important. Clear? So Coulomb's law in vector form gives you idea about Coulomb's law, means force between the two charges will form action-reaction pair. Okay. Second important point is, see, whatever these two forces according to vector direction we are talking, this force is either in this direction or in this direction. Means this force is acting. Second point, force is acting along the line joining their centers, or line joining the charges. So according to Coulomb's law, vector form, a force is either attractive force, means in this direction, repulsive force means in this direction. These two forces are along a same line joining the two charges. But this force is not in any other direction, like this. One charge is here, another charge is here. This force cannot be like this. They cannot be like this. Or they cannot be like this. They should be always along the line joining, towards or away. Such type of forces are called as central forces. What we call? Central force. Important point. and all central forces are conservative in nature. All central forces are conservative in nature. And you know what is the importance of conservative force? If a force is conservative force, then we can use work energy theorem. Work energy theorem is valid for conservative forces. So when conservative forces are involved, then we can write law of conservation of energy. That is, total energy initial is equal to total energy of final. That we have equations written no when conservative forces alone are acting. Okay? Yeah. So and we can define potential energy also when force is conservative nature. Means work done by electric force in a closed path will be zero because it is a conservative nature. So these are the two important points of vector form of Coulomb's law. So I think so you understand about vector form of Coulomb's law. It gives you idea about in which direction. Okay. Bye. Hmm. That not there in our mind because okay. So this is about Coulomb's law in vector form. It gives you idea about direction of force, magnitude. Second point, Coulomb's law will form action-reaction pair. Third point, force between the two charges will act along the line joining their centers only, towards or away. So those type of forces are central forces. So electrostatic force is central force. Central force means what? What is central force? If the force between any two points is along the line joining their centers, then that type of force is central force. And what is the importance of central force? All central forces are conservative in nature. If the force is conservative, if force acting on anything is conservative, then we can apply law of conservation of energy theorem for that. So that a problem will become easy. Problem solving will become easy. Okay? Yeah. So this is about the Coulomb's law in vector form. Coulomb's law in vector form. Next. One more important point. Let us see Coulomb's law in position vector. Position vector form. In position vector form. It is also important. Sometimes they may ask you in your board exam. So for this, very simple. Last class only I have explained. See, let us imagine one Cartesian coordinate plane, XY plane. Okay. Yes. So this is the origin. Now let us imagine two charges. One is Q1, another one is Q2. Okay. Let us suppose position vector of charge Q1 is something R1 bar. You call it is A point. And charge Q is Q2 is at B point, and whose position vector is R2 bar. Let us suppose R2 bar. Okay, and distance between these two is, let us suppose R, some distance R is there between the two charges. Okay, in this direction it is R12, in this direction it is R21. Okay, it is R21. Magnitude is R, distance between the two charges is, let us suppose R. Okay, so in terms of position vector, if you want to write, let us write, let us suppose two charges are of same kind. Positive charges are there. So I want to write a force on first charge due to second charge in vector form. Let us suppose I want to write force on first charge due to second charge. First, let us write the magnitude. Magnitude what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. This is the magnitude. Now direction, both are positive charges, repulsive force will be there. And first charge due to second charge I want. So it is in this direction. In this direction, which force, which direction it is? R21. So R21 cap. Okay. Yes. Still, it can be written as F12 bar can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by this one. I'll write R21 bar modulus square. R21 value is R. Magnitude of R21 value is R. So this one I am writing like this. Modulus of R21 means nothing but R square. Okay, and unit vector, let us write. It can be written as R21 bar divided by modulus of R21 bar. Can we write like this? Yes, we can write. R21 cap can be written as A cap can be written as A bar by modulus of A bar. So F12 bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R21 bar modulus. Here square is there, here 1 is there, cube into R21 bar. So this R21 bar I want in terms of R1 and R2. See triangle OAB. OAB triangle you see now. This is R21 bar like this. So this is R1 bar like this. According to triangular law of vector addition, we can write OB plus BA should be equal to OA. When two vectors represent two sides of a triangle, then closing side represent its resultant vector. You know, according to triangular law of vector addition. So OB plus BA can be written as OA because it is in opposite direction. These are in same direction. When two sides of a triangle are taken in same order, then its closing side gives its resultant. What is OB? OB is R2 bar. Plus what is BA? B2A is R21 bar. R21 bar should be equal to what is OA? OA is R1 bar. That means we can write R21 bar is equal to R1 bar minus R2 bar. Can we write like this? Yes. This value substitute here, you will get the answer. This is for repulsive force. Both are positive I have shown here. Okay, Abhay. See students, these all formats, when you try to write according to directions, you will get. Okay, these values are not important for your competitive exams to be by heart. Okay, by hearting is not important. Don't do by heart. Don't by heart these values. Okay, just remember logically how we can write. Okay, so these all things, only the formula in second PUC is this formula only. Everything depends upon your vectors, first year vectors. So R21 bar here we can write like this. That means it can be written as, means this can be written like this. Means position vector for, if you write, they'll ask for 1 mark, you can write like this. F12 bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R21 bar. R21 bar can be written as R1 minus R2. Means R1 bar minus R2 bar modulus cube. Cube is there, no? Into R21 bar. R21 bar is nothing but R1 bar minus R2 bar. Yes. This is Coulomb's law in position vector form. In terms of position vector, we can write like this. That's it. Okay. Problems will come on this, but we can solve them very easily if problems will come. Okay, I'll show you that format also. I hope you understand this Coulomb's law in position vector form also. So, is these two concepts are clear for you? Coulomb's law in vector form and Coulomb's law in position vector form. Is it okay? Yes, good. Now, tomorrow what we will do is, on this Coulomb's law, we will see different types of questions, numerical questions and objective questions we will see, Nana. Very important it is. Tomorrow class is very important for you. So, if you understand tomorrow's class, then only you can solve that objective material problems. Okay. So, don't forget to join tomorrow's class. Okay. Yeah. So, this is for today's class. I hope you understand it very clearly. Thank you. Bye.